We took the rest of this NBA Finals and played it out 10,000 times. Not guessed, not vibed, actually simulated Game 5, 6, and 7 10,000 separate times and counted exactly how every single series ended. The headline you came for: how often do the Spurs complete the 3-1 comeback? The answer is a very specific number, and the full picture is even more interesting. Let's run it. Here's how it works. We take our per game win probabilities, the same ones from our model, and we let a computer play out the remaining games at those odds, over and over 10,000 times. Some simulations, the Knicks close it out fast. Some go the distance. A few, the Spurs pull off the miracle. Then we count them all up. That's a Monte Carlo simulation, and it shows you the whole range of what could happen, not just one guess. This is Game is Culture. If you like the data taken all the way to the simulation, hit subscribe. We're chasing 1,000. It's free and it genuinely helps. Now the inputs. Every simulation runs on 3 numbers. The Spurs' chance to win each remaining game. Game 5 at home, about 58%. Game 6 on the road in New York, about 42%. Game 7 back home, about 58% again. Those come straight from our matchup model. The computer flips those weighted coins in order until one team reaches 4 wins. Then it does it again, 10,000 times. And here's why we simulate instead of just multiplying once. A single multiplication gives you one number. A simulation gives you the entire distribution. How often the series ends in 5, in 6, in 7, and how often the comeback actually happens. It turns a flat percentage into the full shape of what's likely. So let's look at all 10,000 outcomes at once. 10,000 series played out. Here's how all 10,000 ended. The Knicks close it out in Game 5 about 42% of the time, the single most likely outcome by far. They wrap it up in Game 6 another 33%. They grind out a Game 7 win about 10%. And the Spurs complete the comeback in roughly 14% of simulations. 4 buckets, and only one of them is good news for San Antonio. Stack the Knicks outcomes together and the picture is stark. In about 86% of our 10,000 simulations, New York wins the title. The series only reaches a Game 7 at all about a quarter of the time. The most common single result, by a wide margin, is simple. The Knicks close this out Saturday in Game 5 and never look back. And sit with how lopsided that really is. In 3 out of every 4 simulations, about 75%, the Knicks finish this off in Game 5 or Game 6, and we never even get a Game 7. The dramatic 7-game classic everyone is hoping for? The math says that's the exception, not the expectation. New York is built to slam the door early, and in most of these 10,000 worlds, that's exactly what they do. The comeback number. So there it is. Across 10,000 simulated finals, the Spurs come all the way back about 14% of the time. Call it 1 in 7. That's the raw simulation number, and notice it's a touch higher than the 12% we landed on in our earlier breakdown. And that small gap is worth explaining honestly. A pure simulation treats every game as an independent coin flip. It doesn't know the Spurs just suffered the worst collapse in finals history, and it doesn't know they're 0-2 at home this series. Shade the raw 14% for that real world baggage, and you land right back around 12. So whether you trust the clean sim or the shaded model, the answer is the same neighborhood, somewhere between 1 in 7 and 1 in 8. And put that 14% in real perspective. Historically, teams that fall behind 3-1 in the finals come back only about 3% of the time. Our simulation has these Spurs at 4 to 5 times that rate. Why so much higher? Because they aren't a typical overmatched underdog. They're a near coin flip team with a superstar. The sim isn't being generous to San Antonio. It's just respecting how genuinely good they are. Why the comeback is so rare.
Here's the cruel asymmetry the simulation exposes. The Knicks have 3 different ways to win this series. They can close it in Game 5, in Game 6, or in Game 7. Any one of those does it. The Spurs have exactly one path. Win all 3. No slip-ups, no off night, no margin for error at all. Even at near coin flip odds per game, needing to win 3 in a row is what crushes the percentage. It all hinges on Game 5. And the simulation makes one thing crystal clear. Everything hinges on Game 5. In the simulations where the Spurs win Saturday, their comeback chance leaps to about 24%, nearly 1 in 4. But in every simulation where they lose Game 5, the comeback is over. By definition, 0%. One game doesn't just matter most. For San Antonio, it's the entire season. Which reframes how to watch Saturday. Forget the 3-1 for a second. The real question the simulation asks is just, can the Spurs protect their home floor one time? Do that, and suddenly it's a best of 2 with a puncher's chance. Fail, and 10,000 simulations agree. The confetti falls for New York that night. The whole comeback lives or dies on one game. And here's the wrinkle the simulation quietly reveals. In the small slice of runs that actually reach a Game 7, about a quarter of them, the Spurs win that Game 7 more often than not, around 58%, because it would be played in San Antonio. Read that carefully. The Spurs' problem isn't winning a Game 7, it's surviving long enough to play one. Getting there is the gauntlet. The game itself, at home, they'd be favored. The honest caveats. Now keep it real, a simulation is only as good as the numbers you feed it. If our per game odds are off, so is the output. A single basketball game has enormous variance. An injury, a hot shooter, a blowout, none of which the model sees coming. So this isn't a prophecy, it's the best estimate of a wide range of outcomes, run 10,000 times and treated as exactly that, an estimate. So there's the simulation, 10,000 finals, and the Spurs climb all the way back in about 14% of them, while the Knicks lift the trophy in 86. The whole thing comes down to whether San Antonio can win one game at home on Saturday. Do you buy the 14%, or are the Spurs more dangerous than the math thinks? Tell me below, and if you want the model graded after Game 5, subscribe and join the family.